They died in the jungle until a chemist's mistake. Hello everybody and welcome to Hidden History with Frank Strickland. Do you remember a time when our country was at war? Not a war fought in grand battles on open fields, but in the thick, suffocating jungles. A war where the enemy was as much the unseen hand as it was the soldier in front of you. Our young men, our boys, were bleeding. They were bleeding from shrapnel, from bullet wounds, from ambushes, and from booby traps. They were bleeding out faster than a helicopter could fly them out. Our military medics, our brave corpsmen, they were heroes. But they were not magicians. A tourniquet could only do so much. A bandage could only do so little. The medical supply chain, stretched thin, was never fast enough. Too many young men, so full of promise and life, were dying on the battlefield from a wound that a surgeon could have fixed, if only they could have held on for just a little bit longer. Now imagine this. Imagine a chemist back home in a lab, working on a project for gun sights. He was working for the government, trying to make a plastic material, and in the process, he makes a mistake. He discovers a substance so sticky, so quick-acting, it bonds to everything it touches. From their perspective, it's an utter failure for this project, so he shelves it. A few years later, in the 1950s, the same chemist is working on a new project. His colleague is testing different chemicals in two pieces of equipment, two prisms. They get fused together instantly by this very same substance. The chemist, Dr. Harry Coover, has a revelation this time. He thinks to himself, what if? What if this isn't a failure? The military, desperate for any edge, any tool to save lives, heard about this substance. They had a problem, and this chemical had the potential to be a solution. And so, a medical-grade version of this compound made its way to the jungles of Vietnam. Not with fanfare, not with an official announcement. It was a stopgap, a last resort. Medics carried it in small vials. When a soldier was hit, bleeding profusely, they could spray this liquid directly into the wound. It would stop the bleeding instantly. It wasn't a final fix. It wasn't a cure. It was a bridge, a lifeline. It bought a young man just enough time to get on a helicopter and fly to a field hospital. Hundreds, perhaps thousands of lives were saved by this simple, crazy idea. The wounded got a second chance. They got to go home, to raise families, to grow old. And what was this miraculous life-saving battlefield tool? That failed plastic material? That frustratingly sticky substance? That accidental discovery? It was superglue. And now you know a little more about our hidden history.